Yeah, that's not. Oh, there you go. Hey, oh yeah, okay. The focus is back. Really in good shape. Anyway, hey people, welcome back to my stream. I'm just gonna do this really quickly until my dinner arrives. I had the delivery, and today is this, or it was yesterday. Well, in Japan, since yesterday was the second anniversary of 3D Screen Overload, and they finally released the translation of this game. So I'm just randomly trying this out. After dinner, I'm gonna continue Akia's route, and after Akia's route, I already have decided my next VN. Unfortunately, we're not going to use something yet. we're gonna put that in the back burner for a while. I actually want to play Akia's head after finishing Akia's route, so I already had that in mind. Anyway, let's get this one started. Shit. Red House, new game. There you go. Alright, let me read this aloud, but I'm not doing the voices. I can't do the voice for it. I actually... Wait, I got distracted by a couple of things. Wait a second. All right, let me read this. I'll read this normally. Chen, let's go on a date today. The one who spoke was a well-dressed girl who liked to dream big and call her partner a stupidly cute nickname like P-chan. Her name was Ame, and she was my girlfriend. Well-dressed? Question mark. Okay, to be fair, there's a subculture that really thinks this is well-dressed. Now, but I'm gonna call this Cherokee. I'm gonna call this. Obviously, that's their subculture. You know what? I don't care. Anyway, let's continue. Her black skirt splattered around her thighs as she hovered excitedly, sort of like a fly buzzing over a pile of garbage. They're already shitting on this, man. They're already shitting on this. Nice. She made no attempt at hiding her desire for my attention, and it was so cute. She knew she was cute, better than anyone, in fact. Every single one of her movements was exaggerated for the perfect effect, and it always worked. She was the star of her own show, running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. She knew she could get away with it too, because of how adorable she was. She wielded her own cuteness like a weapon that could get her anything she wanted. Although she had a childish charm to her, she had the cunning mind of a veteran tactician. By the way, I was like 20 plus, right? I was like 20 plus. Although she never graduated high school because she dropped out. Thanks for working hard. Thanks for working so hard for me all the time. I know you fell asleep at your desk because you were up all night editing videos for me, so I feel kind of bad for waking you up, but... Ame fidgeted with her hair and looked at me apologetically. Her thick, glossy locks hung into pigtails and a long fringe that covered half of her face. She could cry all she wanted from her hidden eye, and no one would be none the wiser. It was an extra layer of protection, along with her over-the-top acting. That's my theory anyway. Legend has it that no one has ever seen the left half of Ame's face. Not even I'm privy to what's underneath her bangs. Alright, sleepyhead. I'm gonna go brush my teeth and do my skincare routine and get changed. You'd better be ready for our date by the time I'm done. She beamed at me, her smile warm and bright like the sun. She was so beautiful and adorable, like a little flower begging me to pick her. How could I ever say no to her? People say that every beautiful rose has its thorns, but I think it's a little different for Ame. Her arms were covered in thin scars that ran across them haphazardly. Okay. If she had thorns, then those thorns were hurting her too. But flowers don't do that, so what would she be instead? And I don't want to hear you complaining about this date being too short notice or whatever, Kay. Love is unpredictable like that. Or don't you care about me enough to keep up? A single tear rolled down her cheek from her right eye. All traces of her earlier smile had disappeared as sadness pulled the corners of her lips downward. She wailed as she swung into full-blown breakdown. Wow, boo-hoo. You don't even love me, do you? You're just with me because you want the super chats I squeezed out from my nerd fans. That's called emotional abuse, you know. She sniffed and wiped the tears from her face. Her cheeks took a pinkish tint as her eyes continued to leak and grow puffy. Rather than diminish her looks, however, it only served to make her already enormous eyes look even bigger. Of course, all of this was an act too. Ame had perfected the craft of crying on command and making it look really convincing. As a streamer, she needed precise control over her emotions, turning on whatever she wanted like a switch to elicit certain reactions from her viewers. I was about to say victim in my brain. Don't know why. It was her job to cry and smile with purpose. Even get riled up, she could snap a keyboard in half. I was familiar with all of this as someone who lived with her and cared for her in a romantic capacity. And just as I knew everything about Ame, I knew that this was a charade she was putting on, was her way of showing her love toward me. I also knew that if I ever saw her crying real tears, it could only mean one thing, that things were over between us. But even though I knew this wasn't real, she was still crying, and no proper human being would leave a girl crying. I had to do something to suit her. The tears being fake didn't change the fact that she was deeply stressed with streaming every night and desperately needed a break. Putting herself out there on MeTube and the social media. Wait, what's this? Where was I? Social media meant that all her eyes were on her. She had worshippers that treated her like a goddess, people who made it their personal mission to poke fun at her, and others who saw her as a soundboard for their emotions. It was simple enough to understand how such chaos would eat away at one's well-being, but only those who had been through the same thing could truly empathize. Maybe the money and attention really weren't as intoxicating as she made it out to be, but even so, could this hell truly be worth it to her? Alright, now we're going to choose on this date, says me. Let's decide on where to go. Choose wisely, because it could make me love or hate you more. Did I also mention that it'll affect the ending you get? Well, now I have. If you ask me, Ame was stuck. She had a real skill and talent. She was a smart girl. Every night she would don her silly costume as the internet angel and stream under the name Oh My God Kawaii Angel. Just K Angel from now on, because saying the full thing every time is way too much effort. Just so you know, I always say Oh My God Kawaii Angel instead of like K Angel. It's a habit. Anyway. Her streams gathered hundreds of thousands of nerds. Hundreds of thousands. Okay, that's right. That's the right number. From all over cyberspace every night. And all of the respect, lust, jealousy, hate, love, and boredom that congregated were compiled into a neat little metric known as the viewer count. Then that number would determine how much money she would receive for her efforts. It didn't matter what her intentions her viewers went into her streams with. The important thing was that they became another number for the pile of numbers that ended up as cash in her bank account. And boy, did she have a lot of those numbers. Not to toot my own horn, but I had a big hand in keeping those figures up. Amy was usually dependent on me during her daily life, and most of the logistics of her streams were handled by me too. But that's enough about that. The undeniable thing was, her overwhelming charm was what made her career possible. Stats drove people crazy. Those numbers pushed them to the brink. At some point, Ame must have wondered whether I loved her for who she was or for the number she produced. We started off as two broke asses who found comfort in each other, without any money in the equation. I think what we had was genuine love for one another. Now, neither of us could be so sure anymore. On the other hand, it was possible that we were too close for either of us to unstick ourselves. Wait, give me a second. I need to double check something. Okay. No matter how hard she tried to ignore it, there would always be one persistent worry at the back of her mind. Maybe I can't be satisfied with my partner anymore. The image of us splitting could be looping in her head. It was something the two of us had to overcome together, though. What does being in a relationship mean? Do we take the steps into the future together hand in hand? These were the questions we had to face. Ame was a middle school dropout who had a terrible personality and could do stupid things sometimes, but she was always thinking about things much more than the average person. That's why she suffers from anyway, if her head was really as empty as people like to say, she would have never made it so big as a streamer. She was the kind of person who would rather be direct and spring a surprise date on her partner than try some elaborate scheme to bait me into one. There was that hope that this element of surprise would bring back the butterflies we both felt when we started dating too. From a practical angle, it was also a good way to assess how one's partner would deal with the unexpected, potentially stressful situation. I mean, we'd all want someone who can handle both well, right? Plus, I'm not really one to talk. I chose this after all. Oh my god, wait. So we're actually going? Emma's eyes sparkled like 1,000 diamonds. I didn't care if this was an act or not. I wanted to believe that underneath her long bangs, her left eye was also shining like the brightest star in the sky. Yay, I'm so excited. I don't want to put some emotions to this one. We do that in Aki's route. Whatever happens to us in the future, I just want us to be happy. Okay, let's pick a place to have our date. P-chan, I'll go wherever you go, unless it's jail, then no. Oh man, I'm gonna. Let's go for Nakano Broadway. I never checked the guides or anything. We're playing this blind. Okay, Nakano Broadway. For Nakano Station, if you left through the north exit and you walk to the end of the Nakano Sun Wall, you would find yourself face to face with a mixed residential and commercial building. Hey, this is Nakano Broadway, known for being the mecca for nerdy stuff. I love this place. Nice choice, P-chan. I'm kind of bothered this is not capitalized, but whatever. Akiba's practically baby shit compared to Nakano. It's time to get really freaky and geeky. I actually never went to Nakano Broadway. We should try on my next visit. Planning sometime this year. Year maybe. This is the kind of place that's best enjoyed once a month. We step inside ready to be swept up by its holy corridors. Making it to Nakano Broadway could be for people like us a pilgrimage. Entering its hollow halls made us devout believers of such cultures, regardless of whether or not the other visitors had that kind of mindset. By the way, if you didn't know, the ground floor, better known as the first floor, what the fuck, is used as a thoroughfare. But keep going north and you'll eventually end up at Arai Yakushi side. There, you will find a nary and nerdy shop. Those who are unaware of the location status as a nerd hub would be none the wiser. Unlike Akihabara, where the nerdiness was spread out throughout, it was only concentrated on one spot at Nakano. Whoa, wow. The first floor actually looks kind of normal, except for the giant mandrake. Anyway, look, there's even some stairs that go down to the supermarket. Last time I went to Mandrake, I think I bought like some Macros Frontier figs. I have to do the same. No, maybe it's not the figs. Because I know there's like a lot of things that aren't online. I mean the figures. used figures. I sometimes buy some used figures and sorry, I was checking if my food's being delivered now. Joke. There's a shop selling gacha and Pokemon cards too. This place is nerdy as hell. Oh my god, a shop that's always having closed down sales to draw customers in. I thought they all died out in Akiba, but it looks like it's still got some of its skin here. It was crowded here on the first floor, but of course it was, as any thoroughfare would be. As such, this was... Wait, let me actually screenshot. I'm doing this right now. Where the hell was I? As such, this was where all the normie shops were. You'd only start seeing the real nerdy stuff from the second floor up. Also, if you plan on visiting the second floor, make sure you take the stairs. The lift will take you straight to the third floor, so watch out. I can't even imagine how many people have missed the second floor because they didn't know about this. With her expert knowledge, or maybe coincidental luck, Abby bounced over to the stairs and headed up without even giving the normie shop so much as a glance. I wonder if this is like a screenshot. You know how they did it back in the day? Like, they literally took pictures and just fucking what's it? Anyway, it wasn't as simple as, like, blurring. It wasn't just putting on some Gaussian blur. They were literally reducing the amount of colors to it. But anyway, let's continue. Oh, look at these trading cards and old books. And there's anime girl plastic, Venreal figures, doujinshis, and eroge. They really got everything here, huh? Damn, this game shop got really good stuff. There's stacks of really rare retro games in the window. Holy shit! That's expensive. Well, duh. They would be. Everyone who works here probably has all the good shit memorized. Damn. I was kind of hoping I'll be able to score some bargains like those local second-hand shops that just slap prices on whatever. Sad. I might probably already knew she had no luck, but I held out hope anyway in case she could score something good for the stream. She was probably taking this much to practice for what she'd say tonight too. Truth be told, there were rarely any places left that would sell us rare things for cheap, even out in the boonies. The shops that lasted this long were able to do so because they knew the highest prices they could sell their stock at. Plus, the places that tried to beat their competition by listing their prices items below market value would get their goods slapped up so quickly you hardly had time to blink. Not to say that bargain hunting was impossible these days, because it wasn't, but you'd have to be incredibly lucky. That reminds me, I've been doing a lot of Yahoo auctions lately, and although it's not figure related, I've been looking at clothes, and so I was looking at trench coats, and it's kind of weird. There's that huge disconnect in prices in Japan and internationally. Wait, for figures, there's also that disconnect. Sometimes, like internationally, if you try to buy it on eBay or some second, I don't know where else you buy secondhand stuff, use figures in the international market. Sometimes you see something like $600 for something, and you look at Yahoo Japan, it's gonna be like 200, so that's like a steal. But anyway, I was looking at like trench coats, and there was this weird, I don't know why some trench coats were priced like 900, 1,000, when the equilibrium price of like most of those trench coats internationally for the same brand and the same model and same make, they were vintage trench coats. They were vintage luxury trench coats. They were around 250 to 300 ish. I was like, Who the hell's gonna buy that shit? I gonna buy that $1,000. It isn't even like a special edition Japan whatever kind of trench coat. It was like the same shit that you'd see in like in the international market. The issue was like the sizing. Japan tends to run smaller. They tend to run smaller. But anyway, whatever. That was random. Well, let's continue. Ooh, there's even cafes here. Maybe we should just retire and open a chill cafe here. Oops. Don't tell anyone I said that, okay? Knocking on Broadway was an old building with over 55 years of history. The call for its demolition could happen any day, so running a store that needed a lot of time to build a customer base here, like a cafe, was a risky gamble. Thankfully, it was not enough to stop those who truly loved these holy grounds. I should really try going to Nakano Broadway. Ooh, the nerdiness is even stronger up here. With all the gun blam and the rider exclusive shops, you won't really see this even in Akiba. This place is basically nostalgia heaven for parents. I can see them buying toys here so they can live their glory days vicariously through their kids. But I guess the kids would be happy to be surrounded by so many books and toys. This is a weird place for sure, but maybe that's why a lot of families come here. This place has probably turned hundreds of kids into geeks who grow into robot and toku-loving adults. Toku? Fuck is toku? What? I don't even know what toku meant. What she's referring to. The circle of life and all, huh? Is it Rider related stuff? I don't watch Kamen Rider stuff. So I wouldn't know. Being the central hub in Nakano wasn't the only reason this place saw a lot of families. There was also a huge park right next door. The light of Nakano gathered in the form of couples and families, creating a big yin-yang town. To any dark nerds who wish to avoid such light, visiting on a weekday would probably be your best bet. Oh, look at this bookstore. They've got some really controversial stuff there. Opening a shop for fellow freaks would be pretty cool too. Anime babbled on excitedly, pointing and gesturing in a frenzy. She'd gone completely off the deep end, sucked in by the whirlpool of nerd shit. The highest floor just hits different. It really feels like the good old days are perfectly preserved here. Unlike the second floor, which you could easily reach after climbing one flight of stairs, and the third floor, which this elevator went straight to, the fourth floor was a special place that you could only reach if you wanted to. You couldn't just get there from some coincidence or mistake. It was special in another way. It housed a chaotic concoction of vintage Showa-era toys, manga, and magazines. There was even an arcade, well known for still running a bunch of niche retro cabinets. Even from the first glance, you could immediately sense that the shops here were a paradise for a select portion of nerds. Look, they've even got anime cells here. Ooh, I love Cardcaptor Sakura. Oh yeah, Cardcaptor Sakura is having its 25th anniversary. Holy shit. They're releasing a 25th anniversary fic. I'm kinda, I wouldn't say I'm like the hardcore fan. I'm like a casual fan. I mean, I did watch that back in the day. I should really visit Nakano Broadway. Not so sure about the fig though. But I can imagine the cells. I did watch like the how anime cells are being traded in Mandrake. I think there was like, what was the recent one? I think it was it Bleach or was it like, I can't remember which anime was it. They were selling it for like $10,000. There were people actually biting on it, and you can tell there's no way they're located in Japan. Anyway, I mean, there's a lot of rich Japanese people, but you know, I was watching the numbers. There's no way. It's totally some guy working big tech, man. Some guy working big tech was like, you know, fuck these guys. They're weak currency. I'm just gonna buy the shit. Anyway, let me continue. This is so cool. Hey, you ever think about how cells aren't sold as merch, so the ones on the market were sold by some animator who needed some pocket money? Yeah, that's how we imagine it. I mean, we already I don't know if you guys keep actually keep in touch with those kinds of things. I actually do. I read some articles, documentaries, and stuff, and I know animators are kind of, they're really fucked. They're really fucked when it comes to the money. Even if they go like full on freelance, several studios, even if they are well compensated, they're kind of fucked for the working hours aspect. I mean, look at Mappa. They're already fucked up. They're about to explode. One way or another, man. They're gonna blow up. They're gonna blow up for sure. Oh, shit. Anyway, let's continue. I mean, it's cool that anime nerds will get a chance to own a piece of the series they love, but it sort of gives me mixed feelings, you know? It's kind of like how I saw someone selling something I autographed for them. I'd be pretty annoyed. But on the other hand, they could be selling it because they really strapped for cash. Oh yeah. Let me comment on this because I'm also doing some auction. I also bought a couple of items that had some autographs from a couple of my favorite creators and artists. I'm actually looking for Calico's right now. Inugami Kira. Inugami Kira's some item related from her. I really like her art. Anyway, that was so random. But yeah, if you go to Bai, there's a lot of those shit. You know, autograph stuff. There's a lot of them. Anyway, and they wouldn't be selling it if they could help it. Also, it could be their family members selling it for them because they passed away. That kind of makes sense. I don't know. Maybe I could be some of the figures I have right now. The original owner or the previous owner could be dead. Have I ever thought about that? I'm pretty sure some of the clothes the vintage clothes I bought. I'm pretty sure some of them are. This is an old person who used to own them. I can especially there was a military coat I bought from like an home of the age, so I can obviously tell the previous owner already died. So you know, the best way I could respect their I could respect their legacy is at least take care of their clothes and all that I bought from, you know. There's some history involved with that coat, but you know, there were no details about the previous owner. All I know, well, because it was a British military uniform back in World War II, and they tend to put the buttons that have like, they could let you know which what duties they were doing. Like, you know, you could tell if someone's from the Navy, Army, or doing some logistics support role. So I got one from, was working on as an engineer during that time. So, you know, anyway, that's continue. If a collector passed, the family could either sell their things to a second-hand shop like Mandrake or shut them away in a closet somewhere. An outsider wouldn't be able to tell if it would be more respectful to sell their things or keep them. However, what they would know is that either option would be better than bagging them up and throwing them away. I mean, there is little value. Like, some of the figures I have right now, I'm pretty sure. I'm just waiting for some of Not all my figures are open. So I opened some figures. Some of my figures are on display. Some are kept on their box so I could wait for their value to appreciate. I'm pretty sure some of them will appreciate in value, but you know, sales definitely were just sold for pocket money though. Oh well, it's none of my business. I'm just gonna grab a Dejiko cell and go home. Once she left the shop with her purchase, she nodded and headed for the stairs. It seemed that she had her fill of nerdiness for the day. Now she spent all day surrounded by nerd shit, her streams would probably reflect that too. Or maybe they won't. One thing I was sure of though, if she showed this side of her more, she'd attract even more annoying fans. Sure, maybe there was some merit to taming into K-Angel's fans, but it was really worth it when they had an emotional intelligence of a 5-year-old. I'm tired from walking all around all day, so no stream tonight. I'm gonna stare at myself all night and then sleep. I'm never gonna tell my nerds that I got one. Otherwise they would all get on my ass about how to properly store and display it. Hehe, I had so much fun yesterday. Where will you take me next? Surprise me. Ooh, let's go to the beach. Yeah, one of the reasons why I chose the beach, because I don't know why, there's a lot of screenshots of her on the beach, so I'm guessing this is like a very important area. But I have a feeling like the certain order I choose may matter. I don't know. I'll check the guide in the future, but for now, I'm just going through this blindly. The beach when it's cold. Genius idea, P-chan. No, I mean that like for real, like unironically, still quiet because there's no one else around. It's not like I would have went into the water anyway, so it doesn't matter if it's cold. Good choice. I don't know why, but you already left. She's not wearing her shoes, so kind of implies she's, you know, she's gonna put her foot in the water anyway. I don't know what the fuck is this. Emma smiled. She seemed happy enough with my choice. We stared out into the great big ocean, the mother of all life. As humans, I think we all made to feel something inexplicable when they come face to face with large bodies of water, including Ame, the contrarian streamer who spends most of her time shut in her room. Any other person would have wished for a bright sunny day, but not for Ame. The sky was gray and gloomy, the perfect kind of weather to get the moody teenager inside going, totally perfect for us. Do you ever look at the ocean and start thinking about offing yourself? Not like because you want to die, but more like if you drove straight in and kept going, merciless Mother Nature would eventually take you to her embrace, then your life too. Brr. The scariest thing about nature would probably be the fact that it had no feelings. No matter how much you would scream or beg, the oceans and wilderness would never relent. The biggest thing to do when you were stranded or drowning would be to stay calm. Maybe that was why a lot of people chose to end their lives with nature. Unlike humans, the earth would never react, even when faced with a dying person. Even if you had no real desire to die, you just sometimes end up in a situation or place where you think about how easy it would be to die if you had just made a few specific moves. Kind of like how that author Natsuhiko Kyogoku, I think, talks about being overcome by something like an evil spirit. I need to be Japanese to know this shit. What is this? Well, let me Google this guy. That's a real name, right? Natsuhiko Kyogoku. I'm gonna read out my name. I know what's up with the guy, but might be something about that guy. I'll keep it on my tab. But you know, I kind of wish the QA of the translation was a little better. But I think this kind of fits, you know, stylistically for Ame, you know, how she's gonna write things. She like you're reading exactly how I don't know. I don't know. This is exactly how you'd imagine. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm giving an excuse. Maybe I don't know. Maybe this is just ChatGPT 4 translated. I don't know. Who knows how many of our inexplicable actions like murder and suicide could be attributed to a nefarious entity centering our minds. And it wouldn't be restricted to just big and serious things like those either. Maybe they control even the little things in our lives, the trivial actions we couldn't otherwise explain. Hey, you know how Osamu Dazai committed suicide with his girlfriend by drowning in the river? I wonder if they really did that with the intention to die. For me to search. So many names. This has so many references for things I am not familiar with. I'm so hungry now. Another writer. Another writer. Interesting. Book the Stray Dogs. Like the two writers I've searched so far showed up in Book the Stray Dogs. I'm not sure if she's no. I think she's just they're referring to like an. They're just referring to like. You know, they're just referring to like people. I'll read that one as I opened the wiki page. I got curious about him one day and did some research, and I found out that he made a lot of suicide attempts throughout his life. A lot of them were with the women he was seeing at that time, and one even ended in the woman's death. I'm not even gonna comment on how messed up that is, because he's long dead anyway. Going to drown with your lover just seems like such a spur of a moment passion thing, or a last resort attempt to reconcile with whatever weakness you perceive to have in your mind. I saw an interview with someone Desai knew where they said he would show them rope and say he was serious about killing himself, and they felt troubled because they felt that no matter how they tried to help Desai, he wouldn't accept it. And it's kind of like when people go on social media and say they're going to kill themselves in a desperate bid for care. These kinds of things can be really dangerous and snowball the more you do it, though. Anyway, that's what I think about every time I come to the beach. The ocean breeze picked up and ruffled Ame's skirt. Something in my chest ached, a prick resembling a wound made by a pointed instrument. As my mind took a snapshot of the girl and the waves, I became gravely aware of the fact that I had a heart capable of doing so. Hey P-chan, what if I asked you to walk into the ocean with me right now? Which one would be true love? Accepting without a protest, or trying to convince you to stay and live? Don't think too hard over it. I wasn't being serious. I have an important life mission that no evil spirit could take away from me right now. Okay. Oh, they actually even made an effort for like changing the CD. Okay, let's go home now. It's dark, and my poor little nerds need me. Amy turned and left her innermost thoughts behind the moonlit water and laughing waves. Alright. Hey Hughes, it's K-Angel, or should I say J-Angel, because I'm a jellyfish today. I went to the beach earlier today and saw the ocean, so I'm not afraid anymore. I didn't go in because it was too cold, but it's not like I would have gone in if it was too hot anyway. I'll leave that kind of stuff to you, humans. Or maybe I should leave cyberspace so we can go see the ocean together. If you guys did go to the ocean though, I bet you'll still all be glued to your phones, unless you're swimming. But you guys won't. You'll all be taking photos and anything to look no filter for your Instars, you addicts. Maybe a bathhouse or sauna would be better then, since you wouldn't be able to bring your phones in. You'd be forced to forget the chaos of the internet and just focus on relaxing in the baths and hot screen. Wait, is that why saunas are getting popular these days? Because people just want to forget about the internet for a small while? Anyway, it's time for all of you nerds to put your phones away and go to bed. Forget about all the idiots online and go get some damn rest. Promise you you'll do that. Good night, you guys. Bless. I had so much fun yesterday. Where will you take me next? Surprise me. Urban exploration. Where's my food? I'm really hungry now. I'm just planning to only stream until my food arrives. Oh, picking up my order. Oh, still taking a while, I guess. Well, I guess whatever my food was, I guess it really took some time to cook. No, it's Friday, so I can imagine there's a lot of, people, all that shenanigans. Anyway, when you said you were taking me to do some urban exploration, I thought you were just gonna take me to a generic old part of town swarmed by Insta-girlies, and I was so ready to beat your ass, but this abandoned school is pretty sweet. Nice one, P-chan. Abandoned school? I wonder if you could, and I kind of doubt you'll find abandoned schools in Tokyo, considering it's a place that, it's prime real estate. It's totally understandable in the boonies, but I can't imagine in like in the fucking city, man. Unless they live in like Chiba or something. It's totally possible. I don't know, man. I thought I was gonna die from having to climb up this mountain after getting train sick for that super long ride, but it was so worth it. Oh, there you go. It was a long ride, so they really went off. Maybe to another way off area. Maybe outside Tokyo. We stepped inside the abandoned school and breathed in its musky air, kicking up the dust as we went. Entering this wooden building tucked away in the mountains was like traveling back in time. The village was long deserted. The whole place felt like a ghost town. It was a little slice of light unknown, the shells of dreams that once were, the lives that were being lived once upon a time. The chairs and tables were already rotting, perhaps still waiting for students to come back and learn with them again. Little did they know, however, that their fate was to be forgotten and eventually destroyed. Amy seemed to be enjoying this desolate atmosphere. I hated school, so it feels good to see one in such a sorry state. Well, at least she likes it, even if her reasons were a little unconventional. Something nostalgia. This place must have molded so many kids into cogs for great machine mage cuckery. Wage fucks. Wages. Wait, I'm a fucking lazy. Anyway. It's only fair that it would go down like this then. Haha. Ah, shit. I'm a wagey cagey myself. Never mind. Ooh, harsh. However, one could argue that being anti-establishment was a core part of what made a streamer a streamer. Someone like her who sought refuge from the internet away from their educational system and the society that rejected her. So for everything, these institutions tried to quash through shoving their students into small boxes that taught them how to socialize and conform. A video about the Toronto middle school dropout exploring an abandoned school would actually be a perfect video. I'd put on my best horror stream screaming, and the views would roll in like an avalanche. But nah, bit cringe, to be honest. Plus, this is supposed to be a date for just for the two of us. It'll be our little secret. And it's not like I brought my Key Angel outfit anyway. Amy started taking full advantage of the fact that the building was abandoned by running around and kicking everything she could get her hands, or rather feet, on. At one point, she kicked the wall so hard her foot got stuck in the resulting hole. But all in all, she seemed to have a great time, absolutely wrecking the symbol of her childhood pain. By the way, Peach has like an imaginary being, right? So it's just literally her and her tulpa. her tulpa, you know? So it's kind of messed up, man. I wish I'd done this to the school I went to. I should have torn it to pieces and razed the whole thing to the ground. I wish I made everyone who bullied me get down on their knees and apologize. No, that's not enough. I should have made them jump out of the building. Not too high so they'd die, but just enough they'll break their bones. I wish I was in hell. I hated them so much. I wanted so badly to climb on the stairs, spider threads, if only to look down on them. I swore to myself that I'll become someone they'll be mad jealous of. I think I did, in a way. Look at where they got gluing themselves into their desks, and look at where I am now, more rich and famous than any of them could ever be. Plus, I have a wonderful and loving partner too. But it's not like they know it's me when they look at the Gay Angel. So much for throwing them into the pits of despair and jealousy. They just go about their little lives and they probably don't even remember that they even went to school with me. Emma started to kick harder. I just want to hear them say my deepest apologies. I never knew you had such an enormous talent to become the emotional support for millions of people all around the world. She picked up the chair and hurled it at the backboard, hanging precariously at the front of the room. It made contact with a heavy thud and a large crack appeared on the dark green surface. Ha ha ha. I'll stop there for today. Consider yourself lucky. She slowly paced as she wiped the sweat from her brow, happily murmuring, because I'm so kind and generous, I'm practically the bodhisattva to herself. Once the adrenaline had worn off, she grew bored of the abandoned school and wanted to go home. By the time we headed out, it was already dusk, and the time when students would usually be heading back to the comfort of their homes after a day of boring classes. Hey cuties, it's Kate Angel, the middle school dropout angel. You must be all wondering what I did today. Well, keep wondering because I'm not going to tell you. Us angels have a lot of secrets we need to keep from you humans. And if you're getting ready to accuse me of having a boyfriend, stop right there. I have no need one because I'm devoted to being your angel. Haha. So don't worry and just keep standing me. If you really want to know what I did today, then let's see some red in the chat. Hey, don't actually do that. That's a whole 10,000. $100. That's totally nothing. But I do love the zeros. Thank you guys so much. Man, I love being with you guys on the stream here. I have so much fun, and I really mean that. I'm not just saying that because you guys give me money, okay? It's just one of those nights, you know. You guys have it so tough there. That's why you're all here watching some girl on the internet, right? I really feel for you guys. I can't ever hope to truly understand what you're all going through, and it might not be my place to say this, but let's all promise to do our best to get through our days, okay? That's all I wanted to say. Anyway, I'm going to bed. I hope you guys can get through another day of being wage cuts and study betas with a smile. Bless. It's a new term, study betas. I never heard of that term. I know wage cuts. Probably a new made-up term for this game. I never heard of the other term. The fuck? Alright, where did we go next, bro? I'm really hungry. Wasn't expecting to string this long. Wasn't expecting to string this long. Food is still on the way. Oh, I see. So We had to do a couple of deliveries on the way, despite being in the same neighborhood. I can't do anything about that. Let's go to the arcade. Let's go to the hospital in childhood. You know what? I might actually finish this first. Taking your girlfriend to the local arcade is like the in real life equivalent of taking a girl in a dating sim drawing for a secondhand PC parts and thanking your affection meter. But it's a bold choice. Nice one, P-chan. We're already not normal, so why pretend to be? Chilling at an arcade together is peak. I'm ready to get my game on. I knew it was a bit of a gamble, but good thing Her Highness seemed pleased. We got at the giant coin-pushing games in their bright lights. News about old school games like those crocodile smashing ones was probably the gateway, and enjoyed everything the arcade had to offer. It was a whole establishment perfect for families, which meant that there were none of the usual nerds there, just a quiet corner of the town with nothing weird going on. Kinda feels like we're teenagers who just started dating. We're two youngsters who wanted to go somewhere fun, but A, didn't have that much money, and B, had half the city blocked off to them as minors. Game arcades were the ideal date spot. Much fun could be had for a few hundred yen, and photo booths just hit different, even though all of us had smartphones and million photo apps now. Plus, the really big and fancy arcades sometimes have bowling alleys or pool tables in case anyone wanted to flex for their girl. Session or something like that. I don't remember the full phrase. Not that I really know what it feels like, since no one in school would have ever dated me. I'd always come here alone to practice fighting this in Gumblam, and like so many guys would come out to be like, "Oh, you want me to teach you? I could play co-op with you in Gumblam if you want." Like, ew, okay, nobody asked. But even though I hated how patronizing they were, not gonna lie, I still kind of liked the attention. Amy sat down at the old, worn-down cabinet and began fiddling with the joystick and buttons, perhaps recalling a combo that some guy taught her a long ago. I couldn't really blame those nerds for approaching her that way they did, as annoying as it must have been. A beautiful girl in an arcade was like fresh spring in the desert, especially for people seeking a refuge from their daily lives. It was only human for them to approach and call out such a beauty and wonder. Now that I think about it, those nerds were probably just really lonely, huh? Amy continued to tip and flick away, cycling through different combos. None of them had any effect on the game, of course, as no points had been inserted. The demo screen played on, oblivious to any input. I mean, if you just wanted to verse someone, you could easily do that online. It must have been really starved for human contact if they bothered to come all the way to an arcade in real life. You get a sense of kinship fighting with other outcasts who had been rejected at school and work. You know, just the both of you here in the darkness of the arcade punching it out. I think this is how all fighting games should be played, online. You wouldn't know who you were going against, just climbing their ranks mindlessly. But here, you could just peek around the corner and see your rival. Whatever, not that I care. Amy stood up and suddenly walked deeper into the bowels of the shop. Oh my god, there's a K-Angel merch in the claw machines. Go me. She wasn't alone anymore. There was no more waiting for awkward nerds to hit on her as she sat alone in the cabinet. She had a partner and all the fans and followers in the world filling the emptiness in their heart. I don't think we're really the kind of people to blow all our million claw machines or verse each other on race machines like the other screeching couples though. I wish they had a merry-go-round here. Let's go home. But I had fun. I think this will become one of those days that I will come back to me once in a while when I see something random. We left the bright lights and loud noises of the arcade behind us. If we ever wanted a game, we could just hop on our phones and find someone to play with. Hello cuties, it's K-Angel, the Arcade Angel. What did you all get up to today? I went to the arcade. It wasn't huge or famous or anything, but I passed by it when I was on my walk and decided to go in by myself. And guess what, guys? I saw a claw machine with my merch in it. It was very exciting. I saw some schoolgirls that were talking how cute they were, how much they wanted some. I was so happy I almost stepped in to catch some for them myself. But man, arcade goer demographics have changed so much. It was such a nice arcade, but there wasn't a single nerd in sight. I bet it's because you guys are all cooped up at home gaming instead of going outside to play games. Who else will fill the dark, dingy corners of the arcade if not for you all? Who else is going to stand around with their arms folded like bison and backseat game the whole time? Then go out for ramen together with other randos whose real names you don't even know. You guys gotta start pretending like you're in Umehara's manga and go out and do this. I'm begging you. Like that. Like, that sounds like so much fun. I almost wish I could do it too. I guess nowadays pro gamers just celebrate so much that they lost their gloomy nerdy reputation. But you know, it's kind of sad that they all have to act all professional and stuff now that big money's on the line. I mean, people usually become gamers because they'd rather not deal with the real world. And they go to the arcade to meet their little group nerds who feel the same way, right? It wasn't much, but it was their slice of joy. And now they have to deal with the real world because they play games. Plus, I bet there's a whole bunch of people who would love nothing more than to play games with others, but are forced to stay in the dark because they can't or don't want to act all high for the big companies and stuff. Anyway, that's just my thought of the day from my visit to the arcade. If I'm talking shit, then just ignore me. If you haven't gone outside in a while, then do it. Go play a game with someone you can see face to face, but shower first. Shower lets, man. Promise me you will. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Bless. Fucking showerlets, man. Alright, last two places. Time to take your meds, Anne. Oh, shit. Oh. She's wearing a very interesting getup. She's very fast. Where the hell's my phone? You know what? Let me. Okay, found my phone. Just imagine my food's on the way. Yeah, I think the guy's going up. Anyway. Are you serious? Taking me to the hospital for a date? You're lucky you have me, because any other girl would have dumped your ass straight away. I mean, that's fine. I'm nearly out of meds. Time to take your meds, bro. So it's a good timing. You planned this day because of that, didn't you? You're always so on top of things. Thanks, B-chan. Today we were in the psych ward. Amik often comes here to pick up her various pills and prescriptions. She had SSRIs. I obviously don't need meds, but I can imagine some of you guys are experts with this shit. What the hell is that? Selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. Oh. Well, I did one point, but that was like that was a garbage experience. Never again, man. Stronger stuff. I don't have the stronger stuff, only the weak shit. Stronger stuff for her really bad days when I was good. Sleeping pills, medicine that stopped her from slowly recalling things that were too painful to remember. All sorts of things. If she ever ran out, though, she'd have to play a dangerous game of facing reality all on her own. Since Amy's pills were running low, I decided to bring her here before things got out of hand. Doesn't it seem counterintuitive to have a system where people who struggled with doing things on time all the time had to pick up their meds on time all the time? Hey, you ever think about the people you see in waiting rooms? I think the ones I see here are especially unique. There's a ward accepted many patients with tough cases, so the waiting room could be quite comforting too. Most of them weren't that out of the ordinary though, like the old folks playing their Game Boys, even though it was released way past their time. Those who wandered back and forth in the corridors like NPCs, and kids who clung to their mothers unmoving and unspeaking. As different as they were, there was one thing they all had in common. They were all living with unthinkable traumas that the regular mentally healthy folk couldn't even begin to imagine. I've been telling you, my ideas keep getting stolen every day by famous mangakas. I'm the one who originally invented the dark fantasy genre. I've already told you this before. There was a man, middle-aged perhaps, in a room somewhere shouting, probably arguing with his doctor. It was to be expected in this ward. All the staff seemed used to it. Anyone who wanted to work here would know that had to be able to take those kinds of outbursts calmly without affirming or denying them. The man raged on, still inflamed by the plagiarism he was convinced was happening. It's happening all the time on that website. Shosetsu ga ni naro. The fuck? I'm learning Japanese here, man. The fuck is this? The fuck is this, son? Shosetsu ga setsu ka ni naro. What's this, man? Oh, so yeah, so this is I'm just gonna read open stuff. These are interesting stuff. I'm not even familiar with this stuff, so this is interesting for me. Anyway, that everyone can post their light novels too. I can imagine this is where they posted the first light novels, like Konosuba, like Re:Zero or Ushiko Tensei, the first ones. I don't know why, because I just searched it in Google, and the first thing that showed up was Konosuba. So I don't know. Anyway, they're all reading my stories there and ripping me off, even the ones that get anime adaptations, except their MCs are all shit and bland. The shouting went on for a good while. Amy stared at the door that it seemed to be coming from, her face peaceful and composed. Everyone here is fighting their own battles the best way they can. And stop when your worst enemies and best friends both come from inside your own head. I know what that feels like. There was a time when it felt like I had insects buzzing around in my head all day long. They would all fly around and screech and cause me all sorts of grief. I probably screamed like that man too, just to stop hearing that for even a second. I fought that battle alone too, just like he probably is. I watched intrigued as Adam's face grew sullen. It was a rare sight to behold. I laid my hand on top of hers and laced our fingers together. If someone cut the two of us out of context right now, it would just be like any other couple, enjoying each other's company side by side. However, we weren't like any other couple. I mean, how many others out there would spend their date at the psych ward? I mean, your hand holding with your fucking tulpa, so... Anyway, it didn't matter to me, though. Or Ame. We were both perfectly fine with spending our time here. For people who have to tough it out alone, they must really hate me for having someone like you with me. Maybe they'll even curse me for being blessed with such an adorable face too. I wouldn't blame them if they hated me for building a name for myself and earning money through my streams by using my outcast energy to attract fans and sympathy. I must be something like a class traitor to them. If they were pointing behind my back and saying I was faking it all for clout, I wouldn't blame them at all. I certainly feel like on most days, but who would I be if I didn't turn my mental illness into a business? I'd just be a stupid middle school dropout. I have my good looks too, but they can only get me so far in this cruel world. I only got so big as K-Angel because of my hard work, and I won't let anyone talk down to me about all the time and effort I've invested. Whatever. That's just all fluff. And having a partner like you who would keep tabs on my meds, take your meds, bro, and take me to get more when I'm nearly out automatically makes me more privileged than half the people here on the earth. I wouldn't have the right to even look at the man beyond that door in the eye. Abbott chuckled softly, resigned. Her face grew dark, and she fell silent, gripping my hand back. Hey cutie, this is K-Angel, your totally normal internet angel who has a super normal brain. What did you all get up to today? I went upstairs to the upstairs doctor for the first time in a while. Aren't I so good? Well, it's really nothing special. We should normalize getting professional help when we need it. Anyway, I took my meds. Took my meds earlier, so it's a bit out of it. So if I seem a bit out of it, that's why. If I say something weird, no I didn't. But if I did, just give me a gentle poke in the comments. The place I go to is pretty well known. Actually, I looked at the symptoms and just picked a doctor that seemed that like they would get it. So whenever I go, I see a lot of people like myself there. The rising thing is, if you look at the hospital's review, they're actually super bad. They're all like, the doctors never take me seriously. They're all flat. I guess all online reviews are kind of like that. But you know, the people writing them probably weren't in the best state of mind, yet they continued to go to that hospital. And you think about it, wouldn't all those low reviews actually mean the place is good? Then I know it's good for me because the staff there listen to me and make me feel okay. The point is, the reviews are so bad because the patients feel like they can express themselves however they like, which is actually a good thing. The world can be a tricky place, huh? Anyway, if any of you are going through it right now, I hope you can find a professional that you can vibe with. But before that, get yourself something warm to drink and bury yourself in your comfy bed and get a good night's sleep. I'm gonna send you all to bed now, so go get ready. Good night now, my little nerds. Bless. Alright, last one. I don't know what happens after this. I had to save the last for childhood home. This actually happens on day, what? Was it day 27? I don't know. Can't remember anymore. Katang. What the fuck? The train clanked on as it carried the two lone passengers forward, toward Anna's childhood home. She very rarely spoke about her family and never even explained where their house was exactly. However, despite that, Petit still suggested that they visit. Regardless of whether heaven or hell was waiting for them, it was a life partner's duty to follow their other half into it. I was scared of being happy. I mean, look at me. I may be happy and pretty, and sometimes my brain cells kind of work, but I'm not exactly someone who deserves to be happy. Every time I thought about it, I felt like I was being crushed by a weight in my chest. It comes back every time K-Angel gets more followers and pure fans who genuinely like her. I keep thinking that the karma will get me for it one day, and whenever I go to bed, I can't help but think that I'm going to wake up to a flame war and everything will come crashing down. I may sometimes woke in the middle of the night screaming, perhaps escaping from a punishment worse than that her mind had conjured up. The better her life was during her waking hours, the worse her nightmares would become. Not even the thought of being on a date could chase away those fears. But even with it hanging over my head, I had fun. It helped pull me out of the claws of my own mind for a little while. I started to even think that maybe I could be allowed to be happy. And that thought is getting a little stronger. The train clanked on as it continued to carry the two lone passengers forward. Watching the sunset on the empty beach, enjoying our youth in the arcade at night, fighting against my inner demons in the hospital, nerding out as a couple together at the shopping center with retro vibes, reminiscing about childhood at the abandoned school building. You know, to be honest, I thought it was all kind of stupid. Because, like, it's all kind of pointless, you know. Well, it does give me a content for my streams at least. I was both P-Chan's girlfriend and an angel devoted to hundreds and thousands of nerds waiting on the other side of the screen. She was prepared to turn any situation and experience into content. But on the flip side, it meant wherever she went and whatever she did, there would be countless shadows just waiting around the corner. The stress of having to constantly switch between just a regular girl and one of the most popular streamers ever was immeasurable. The more it built up, the more it fed into the air of unease that hung over her. Her world was always covered in a shroud of some indescribable anxiety. She hid half of her face with her hair so she wouldn't have to look straight at that uncomfortable something. It was a sad path to take, but she chose to walk to those thorns. Despite everything, the train continued to run, never able to speak a single word. Whatever thoughts simmered away in Ami's head, the mechanical clanking and rattling erased it all. But, you know, the only choice I have is to accept happiness. The train slowed to a complete halt as it arrived at its final stop. The two passengers alighted and headed for their destination. I will make my life a happy one. Their steps synced to each other. They walked side by side, slowly and slowly. I'll do it for you, P-Chan, to thank you for never leaving me and always being there for me. And I'll do it for myself too. I'm a little scared, but I think I can do it. A moment of silence stretched between them. Their steps continued, however, carrying forward to their goal. Part of me thinks that all love is just playing pretend. I mean, 90% of all couples end up breaking, so couldn't you say that they were just hinging everything on the short moments that felt good? Listen to me being an edgelord, but I just thought I had to get that out there. And you'd tell me that's not true, even if you didn't really believe it, right? There was no reply from her partner, but Amy took it as a silent agreement and skipped happily. No matter what happens from now on, I know that all the dates we had and this moment of us going where we needed to go was all real. That's enough for me. What? Is this her remembering the fact that she's actually dealing with a fucking duel? What the fuck? She smiled as the lie left her lips. When she spoke to her doctor last, she said nothing but lies. Technically, her claims of insomnia and chronic fatigue weren't untruthful. The medicines that would then be prescribed her did help stabilize her. Her fundamental imbalances and misalignments weren't anything as superficial as those symptoms, but she wasn't about to reveal them to anyone. Would anyone be able to understand the inner workings of the girl who called herself the internet angel? Would any doctor or lover be able to do that? Maybe her partner, her P-chan, was the only one who could. At the very least, the one thing that did remain true was that she was headed toward her goal on her own 2 feet. P-chan said nothing. To be exact, nothing had been said since the moment they met. When Amy said she wanted to go on a date, the proclamation had been met with neither sound nor reply. Almost there. I like that keeps they keep hammering down that P-chan doesn't actually exist. Where? Isn't this exciting? What is? I get the feeling that all sorts of things are going to start coming our way, but it's nothing that we can't overcome together. Yay. Why? I hope our love will last forever. She stopped. She pointed at something in front of her and murmured softly. Promise you won't let seeing that stop you from staying with me. I love you, P-chan. I love you so much. I love you so much. Did I finish this? What the fuck? In one sitting? Oh, nice. Oh, nice. I actually finished it. Oh, holy shit. Okay. Okay. I don't know. Maybe there's a couple of different endings, but what? Okay. Apparently, I guess I'm done. At least one playthrough. I don't know if repeated playthroughs do a lot. She does mention depending on the order of the routes and everything, you know. So I'll probably check online. I don't feel like streaming that anymore. Anyway, I'll have my dinner and later I'll come back so we could do Akia's route. I do wonder if we can finish it today, so you know, you never know. We could finish it by today, and that'll be cool. Anyway, I hope you guys are watching, and I'll see you guys on the later stream for Tsukine.